What is going on, guys? It's Bigro Ronin here, and today I'm bringing you a brand new series I want to try out where I bring you my favorite tracks of the week. This one's gonna be a little different because one, it's in the middle of the week, and two, I'm gonna be including some music from like a couple of different weeks just because this is the first episode. So bear with me on this episode. Let me know in the comments if you like this, because I wanted to try something different than the stereotypical album review. Something that gets uploaded a lot on YouTube. So this is gonna be something new. I'm gonna call it Big Rose Tracks of the Week. Leave in the comments if you like it. I'm going to be starting to do a lot of different new series on YouTube, so keep giving me feedback. Let me know which ones you like, which ones you don't. I want to try some new and innovative things, really push the boundaries of what you can do. Maybe make some content that people actually want to watch for once. So let's get into this. But before we start, I want to give a shout out to Amore, Ben's brand. There will be a link in the description. And also, I want to shout out Ben's new Twitch channel, which I'll also put in the description. He's going to be going by the Ronin FN. So look in the description, click on the Twitch. I've been watching it whenever he streams the World Cup. It's actually pretty entertaining. He's got some good gameplay, some great commentary, lots of positive vibes that I enjoy. So be sure to tune in. I'm sure he'll be streaming this weekend for the World Cup. I'll tweet it out too if you guys follow my Twitter. So let's get into my favorite tracks of the week. Alright, so a little description beforehand. The reason it's not new Big Road Tracks of the Week is because I like to go back and find some tracks I haven't heard before. So for this series, I'll definitely be covering the new tracks of the week, but I'll also be including some old tracks, some classics that you might not have heard of before, some deep cuts maybe. And another thing is most of the tracks are going to be in the hip-hop rap genre, but if you guys want to see other genres, I'm a fan of most music. Country, I don't know about country. And pop, I don't know about some pop, but most other genres. Leave in the description if you want me to cover some other tracks that you want me to look up. I saw you guys commented on my Night Level video about some other albums you want me to cover, and I did that, so I always love some feedback and suggestions, so let me know in the comments. Alright, so getting into the new tracks of the week. We have Go Loco by YG featuring Tyga and John Z, who is a Puerto Rican rapper, I believe. So let's give it a listen real quick. Alright, so this is one of YG's new singles that I actually enjoy a lot. On Reddit, when I first saw that it was released, there was people like hating on it in the comments, so I posted some shit like, oh, I actually kind of like it, guys, and then that shit got a bunch of upvotes, so clearly people liked the track. They were just trying to hate on it for no reason. I think the bloody beat is super smooth, super unique. The horns, the Latino vibes, I really enjoy this track. Tyga drops a good verse. John Z drops a good verse in Spanish. I'll give you a little snippet of that. I think Spanish is a great language to rap in. It flows nice, it's pleasant on the ears, and I think that's why Spanish rap and like all this Latino pop influences is starting to pop up a lot in like mainstream music. We had Cardi B, I like that. We had Beyonce and the what was that song called? You know that song, Mi Gente, that beat was fire. We had the Creepy Kush 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 with Nicki Minaj and Travis Scott and I think 21 Savage. The song was a little sketchy, but there's a lot of Latino pop influences going into hip hop and rap and other mainstream songs. And I think it's just because it's just a great sound, it's a great vibe, and I like to see a lot of different cultures colliding. I think the next culture I'd like to see getting more mainstream focus is maybe Bollywood music. I know T-Series is like the big enemy right now, and they release like a bunch of stupid Bollywood shit, but a lot of that Indian music actually sounds really nice. So if we get to see some hip hop Indian music collaboration in the future, I would really enjoy it. So moving on, we have PNB Rock's new album. So let's go to PNB Rock's page. We have Trap Star turned Pop Star, an album I actually really enjoyed, surprisingly. Hold on, let me go to the non-deluxe version first so I can see what songs I have saved. Alright, so we have PNB Rock's new album, Trap Star turned Pop Star. You might know PNB Rock from his hook on Kodak Black's Too Many Years. That was my first impression of PNB Rock, and I could tell right away he had a great voice for R&B, so that led me to wanting to check out his new album. And, well, I kind of enjoyed it. I think the album's theme was that half of it was going to be the Trap Star, and then half of it was going to be the Pop Star. And I believe the first half of the album was the Trap Star, and the second half was the Pop Star. I enjoyed the Trap Star more than the Pop Star section. We had, oh yeah, you could even see it split into two discs. on Spotify even. One, I think the first disc being the Trap Star and the second disc being the Pop Star. So the first track I really enjoyed was the opening track, Dreamin', and then I also enjoyed Penny Proud, Middle Child featuring the late XXXTentacion, who also drops a pretty good a verse slash hook on it. It's an interesting song. I'll give you a snippet of it. Hold on, let me see if I can find X. There we go. Alright, here's X. So it's not the screamo rap XX, it's the poppy, more melodic XX that he was starting to move his career towards before his untimely death. And I really enjoy this track. I think they complement each other well, and it's probably my favorite track on the album. Fuck Up the City is a track I also liked on the first half of the album, and Quavo drops a good hook. There's a good verse from Molly Mall. Overall, actually, is Molly Mall a fucking producer? Honestly, I think Molly Mall might be a producer. Let me play that real quick. Let's see if he goes, that beat Molly Mall.
You know, ever since a young nigga, I was told to fuck with the city. You know, man, we came from the north.
Anytime now, producer tag.
We can sit on our back, you know.
Alright, I'm right. Here's the producer. Alright, that was wrong. He does not drop a verse, but Quavo's hook is good. Molly Mall's beat is good, and it's also a very good track. The collab with Tory Lanez was also a song I enjoyed. Pop section, a lot weaker than the Trap Star section. This Boogie with the Hoodie song's kind of whack. The most popular song on the album so far is the song with Little Skies. I don't really enjoy it. You might if you like more poppy, melodic songs, but overall, I was actually impressed. If the whole album had been like Trap Star, it might have even been one of my favorite albums of the first half of this year. And then a couple of days later, he dropped the deluxe version, which added a couple more bonus songs. A lot of the bonus songs I actually really enjoyed. The collab with Roddy Ricch and Youngboy Never Broke Again are both really good tracks. The one of Lil Wayne, it's got some really explicit lyrics. I don't know. It kind of made me uncomfortable to listen to, so I didn't add it. But if you like really raunchy lyrics about banging chicks and shit, well, maybe you'll like that track. But I liked the last three a lot, and I think they could have benefited to maybe replace some of the pop star tracks with some of these tracks, and it could have been a more full-fledged album. But, you know, whatever. I think the reason why artists are doing this, where they will release an album and then just moments later release a deluxe version with just a couple more songs, is to boost streaming numbers. So it's kind of a scummy tactic, but I mean, I don't think PNB Rock's ever been known for being a real classy dude. He beat the shit out of Lil B recently, and he's kind of a giraffe-looking motherfucker. So that's PNB Rock. Let's go into one of the other new albums from last week. Alright, we have Hoodrich Pablo Juan's Blow the Movie, or BLO the Movie. I'm not sure what BLO stands for. Maybe I'll look it up after the video, and I'll put right here what it is. Hopefully it's not something super fucking terrible. Alright, so this was an album I actually really enjoyed. See, I added a lot of the songs on it. Starting off, we have Screaming Slat featuring Young Thug. Young Thug drops a pretty good feature. It's one of his weird features. Right now, I'm going to switch to another song with another Young Thug weird-ass feature that is a little underground cut for you guys that you might not have heard. But I'll give you a Alright, so I'm going to go to his feature. You can see it's kind of like a unique Young Thug type of weird flow delivery he uses. Yeah, and this song he really leans into his unique delivery. And there's another song where he delivers a very interesting guest verse. Alright, here you go. Yeah, he's like squealing in the background. It's really bizarre. Dum 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 dum. Dum 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 dum. Yeah, I don't know. If that's your jam, my bad, but I think that song's fucking weird. Alright, so moving on BLO the movie, we have Everything for Sale featuring Young Dolph. Moving on, we have Everything for Sale featuring Young Dolph, another song I really liked. I feel like I like a lot of songs featuring Young Dolph. He's one of my favorite rappers. I'll talk later about some of his more classic songs, like I was talking about before. I went back and listened to some old Young Dolph albums, I think after listening to this feature, because I just remembered how great he is. So this is another good song. We have a feature from Smokey Margella, who I don't like at all. He kind of ruined Cozy Tapes Volume 2 for me. Then we had a 3-song stretch of Fireworks, Just Vibe, and Dance. All songs that were great. Dance is one of the hardest songs of the year, featuring Key Glock and NLE Choppa. NLE Choppa is a new rapper who's popping right now. His most popular songs are Choppa Flow and Choppa Flow 2. Both really hard songs. I'll give you a snippet of that if you haven't heard him yet before. You can listen to it right here if you haven't heard it before. It's pretty fucking hard. It's you know, he's got the streets fucking with it for sure.
Like I'm Dennis, I started this shit, I'm a business. Niggas be hating, trying to blemish my image. Who want the smoke? 2 to 3 count with the scope, extended clip.
Yeah, so you see it's got that hard piano beat. Something that I feel draws inspiration from songs like 2 Chainz's Watch Out and Bankroll Fresh's, what was the name of that song? This was the most popular song before his also untimely death. Walked In. You know, you can hear the similarities for sure. It's like a hard ass piano beat. 217 on the track. Alright, so that's NLE Choppa and Key Glock, who also released an album this year, also very good. If you haven't listened to it yet, you should listen to it. Glaucorama, or Glaucoma, not Glaucorama, Glaucoma. Actually, it was released last year. So last year's Glaucoma, which is hilarious. Glaucoma, like the disease, but it's with a Glock, because he's Key Glock. But yeah, I saved a lot of songs. You can see what songs I saved here if you want to go back and listen to Glock. He's really good. I enjoy him a lot. And this song with NLE Choppa and Key Glock is obviously going to be a hard banger, so you can just listen to a little bit. That's probably my favorite track on the album, and we also have Shoebox and Count the Money, the 2 songs that close out the album I enjoyed. It has a feature from Nav, the young brown boy, who I don't usually like, but, you know, he's alright in small doses. He usually sounds like a robot who's, like, created to make generic rap pop songs, but, you know, he's alright on this song. He's alright on Travis's Bees in the Trap, too. I believe that's the name of the song. Hold on, let me Beebs in the Trap. Yeah, that's probably his best verses on Beebs in the Trap, and obviously not Yosemite. That's probably his worst verse, the Mimi one, where you can barely hear him. But overall, I think Hoodrich Pablo Juan is my favorite new album of the week. But moving on to the last new album I'd like to talk about. Actually, there's 2 more. Take that back. I'm talking about 2 more new albums. First being, this one just released the other day, so. Actually, no, hold on. I'm gonna save this album. I'm gonna save Young Nudi's new album with Pierre Bourne for next week's Bigro's favorite tracks of the week, or whatever I'm gonna call it. I said it in the beginning. I'll just rewatch it. But I'm gonna talk about Ramirez's new album. So Ramirez is signed to Gray 5'9", the Suicide Boys label, and I believe he's the cousin of Ruby, and he released Son of Serpentine, an album I really enjoyed. I saved. Let's see here. Yeah, I saved nearly all the songs on it. It starts off with some real bangers, obviously with Zilla Kami and a song titled Mosh Pit Killa. It's gonna be some crazy ass shit. I'll give you a snippet. I'll give you some Zilla. And then Ramirez made a shocking claim as he released a diss track on Hitler. I'm like, damn, that's bold. That's a bold statement to diss Hitler. But this song is also another banger. Ramirez's flow is similar to Ruby's, and he raps fast sometimes and he can get melodic sometimes too. He switches it up a lot. He's got a great delivery. And then we move on to Liquid Sunshine, where the album's theme, or maybe late, let's see. Alright, so Lay It Down's kind of got a Suicide Boys-esque production. I wouldn't doubt if Scrim's the one produced it. You can hear a 3-6 Mafia type sample in the background. It basically sounds like a Suicide Boys song. It's the most Suicide Boys-esque song on the album. Ramirez's flow is so nasty, but then the album gets a lot more, I guess, happy even with Liquid Sunshine from Puya, or featuring Puya. There's a real chill, vibey song. You know, they're just a lot of the songs afterwards. They get real vibey. A lot of like 80s type instrumentals. If you don't know what I'm talking about, listen to this. It just sounds like it's straight from the 80s. Okay, that is not one that sounds like it's straight from the 80s. That sounds like it's straight from the 70s or 50s or something. But this one, honestly, that's a great song. Listen to this beat. The sample is just nasty. Oh, that song is good. Damn. I need to re-listen to this album. Alright, now here's the 80s vibes. Listen to this. Dude, just imagine just cruising through Los Santos and vibing to this. This is a banger, dude. This album's great. And it's probably one of the most overlooked albums of the week, so be sure to definitely check out Son of Serpentine. Of all the albums I've mentioned, this song was great. I know I said I just said the Hoodrich Pablo Juan album was my favorite, but I think it's actually the Ramirez album. I forgot how good that shit was. So now let's go into some of the classic songs of the week I'd like to show you guys. I mentioned Young Dolph, so let's see some of the Young Dolph tracks I rediscovered. Or not rediscovered, but discovered for the first time. Alright, so we have Young Dolph's album from 2016, Rich Crack Baby, which I had not listened to before. I was very surprised, and as you can see, I actually really enjoyed it. It was very good. A lot of songs. Dolph's delivery is just flawless, in my opinion. He's got a lot of great features from Boozy Badass, 2 Chainz, Wale, T.I. I think the T.I. song is my favorite, if I remember correctly. I'll play you a snippet of it right here. I didn't like the Gucci Mane song, surprisingly, but here you go. Here's a snippet.
Honorable court.
If you like Dolph, or even if you haven't listened to him before, I think you'll enjoy this album. It really just like a perfect trap album. Lots of good songs, lots of beats, lots of good flows, lots of sticky hooks, which is a lot of the ingredients I think are perfect. Like you cook it up in the trap kitchen to make the perfect trap album. Whip it up, work. So that album, I believe you guys should check out. And another artist who I went back, another Memphis artist, someone who supposedly tried to kill Young Dolph, who I went back and got a lot of new songs from. He's a guy that gets a lot of flack recently. I see a lot of people calling him lazy, saying his flows are weak, his songs are whack. Well, I like Mr. Yo Gotti, who I went back and listened to actually a couple of his old albums and really enjoyed. The first being one of his more recent albums, the one that had Down in the DMs on it, one I had not listened to before, actually. So we have The Art of Hustle, which had Down in the DM, probably his most popular song of all time. I listened to it. I like the song featuring Lil Wayne, Bible. I like the song featuring E40, Law. Which actually, I think I had this song saved before. I think this is the one song from the album I had listened to before, besides obviously Down in the DM. But I hadn't listened to the full album. So I also like this song with a Timbaland beat, Smile. I love Timbaland as a producer. The other day, me and my friends were talking, like, if we look up a list of the best producers of all time, Timbaland's going to be on it. And we looked it up. We're going through the list. Swizz Beatz, Kanye, Pharrell. I'm like, oh, shit. Is Timbaland not gonna be on it? We get to the very end, and there was my boy Timbo. So like, yeah, he was on the list of all these other great artists or great producers that have made legendary tracks. So Timbaland is underrated. I believe he's one of the greatest producers. And I love how Timbaland songs, you can always tell if it's a Timbaland song. This song, not as much. You can definitely tell some of his iconic drum patterns in the background. It's not like a super I'll give you a snippet of it.
Oh, man. They got a street nigga Timbo beat.
See, even Yo Gotti's happy about having a Timbo beat. It doesn't exactly sound like one of his more iconic beats. Kind of like, I'll give you one of my favorite songs from him.
That throwing you off?
Nope. All I can do is try. Give me one chance. What's the problem? I don't see the ring on your hand. I'll be the first to again. I'm curious about you. You seem so innocent.
You wanna get in my world, get lost.
See, I know in the beginning how I said, like, I don't really like pop songs. That's one of the greatest pop songs of all time. No cap. So, also songs I liked on this album, we have Pay the Price, General featuring Future. Kind of a lot of these can be described as generic trap songs, but they have unique beats. I like the flows, and I like the hooks. All, like I said before, things that I look for in a trap song if I want to add it to my playlist. And then we have Pusha T's verse on Hunted, which is probably the reason I added it. It's good stuff.
That's 45 keys on a calibrated scale, bitch counting on a stomach. If you checking the math, counting on your fingers to add.
I feel like Pusha T can't drop a bad verse. He's got a great flow. His verses always got great lyrics. Really descriptive about selling cocaine, which seems to be his favorite topic. And then we had the Love These Hoes featuring 2 Chainz, which was probably my favorite new song I added. It just really slaps. And it's got a hook that some might consider lazy. I think when people call a hook lazy, it can kind of be a disservice to it, because a lazy hook can sometimes be one of the catchiest, most stickiest hooks. And I think a simple hook is sometimes the way to go for a song that is looking to be a mainstream hit and climb on the charts. So when you call a hook lazy, it's kind of a lame compliment, because sometimes the laziest hooks are the best hooks, in my opinion. Another album that I went back and listened to for the first time featuring Yo Gotti is his collab album with Moneybagg Yo to Federal. Moneybagg Yo is an artist I like a lot more than Yo Gotti, so I was already hyped for this. I can't believe I hadn't listened to it before since I like Moneybagg Yo so much. Even though a lot of people don't like Moneybagg Yo either, they have the same complaints towards him as they have towards Lil Gotti, saying he's just generic lazy. But in my opinion of him, he's kind of like a Kevin Gates cousin, where his flow kind of sounds similar to Kevin Gates' delivery, and I really like his songs. So we can go through the songs I liked on this. I Can't Do It, After a While, Doing Too Much, Section, Gang Gang, Mitch, Gnarly, Lil Baby, which ironically doesn't feature Lil Baby, despite these guys frequently collabing with Lil Baby. So I liked a decent half of the songs in there. All those songs are good if you want to go back and listen to that album. Moneybagg Yo is obviously the star of the album, because Yo Gotti just pales in comparison to my boy Moneybagg Yo, but still a good album. They both complement each other well. And then the other album I went back and listened to for the first time was one of his first albums. An album I actually really enjoyed, like surprisingly, because sometimes old school rap songs, like, they sound dated sometimes, but not this album, which I'm going to right anywhere low. And alright, here we go. Back to the Basics. This album I actually really enjoyed. I like the first 4 or 5 songs. I didn't add a couple of them, but they're all really good tracks. I recommend listening to this album in full, because it's definitely a certified classic. One I had definitely overlooked while going back through some old music in the past couple of years, so I'm happy I was able to discover this album. It's basically all good stuff. I'll give you a little tease of the first song. Well, the intro's good too. Not the... Like, it definitely has that modern sound. Like, this album was definitely very innovative at its time. Like, as you can see, this was released in 2006. Some of the instruments, like that horn in the background, sounds a little dated, but I think this album's great. You a gangster, right? Let me give you a tip of this. You can definitely tell this album was made in the 2000s, but I still think it holds up to this day. Some other songs I enjoyed was Cold Game, That's Not Yo Bitch, I'm a Thug, and Warrior. But I think the whole album is great, so I recommend listening to it in full. Alright, and I think that wraps up the video. Let me know in the comments if you like this video and want to see more of it. I'll probably be a lot more organized in the coming videos, just because this one I had to go through a lot of music, because this is the first one I've ever done. I could have just stuck straight to the week, But since it's in the middle of the week, it made it a little more confusing. But with a lot of songs coming out tonight, I think there's a lot of hyped albums that are going to drop tonight. This week's video will be a lot more organized. So I plan to upload these on Saturday or Sunday for the most part. So let me know in the comments if you like it, other genres you want me to listen to, and be hyped for more different types of videos that are going to be coming soon. So get excited because the Bigro channel is going to be going through some innovative changes. Oh, and be sure to use code Bigro_1 in the Fortnite shop because I got my new code now for Fortnite Epic Creators. So that's a cool thing. I'll put that in the description too. I'll put Ben's Twitch. Ben's a More and More brand. He's going to release a new collection soon, so get hyped for that. It's going to be like a story told throughout clothing. So I don't know if that's ever been done before. That sounds pretty innovative and cool. See, me and Ben are both on this innovative grind. We're both innovators, you know, changing the game. So be sure to slap that like button, give it a little spank, and see you guys in the next one.
For my life, can't say that, girl. Don't tell me you could say that shit. All she want is payback for the way I always play that shit.